What do you think about Terrence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know. And he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terrence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky.
Yeah. One of them.
I look at Crawford as one of those special guys. I don't care if you guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher, you know, a unified champion that he's been, you know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it. But sometimes, you know, his legs aren't as quick. He don't close the gaps as fast. Is he going to be taken advantage of in that area? Is the smaller Crawford going to take advantage? Get off, get to the side, give him angles, you know, do that to him, you know, not allow him to use his power, not allow him to detonate the bomb, you know, not allow him to get off the way he wants to get off. Is he going to, is that going to be really what we're going to see? I remember when Oscar De La Hoya, tremendous fighter, and a tremendous promoter, obviously, but a tremendous fighter. And I remember when he fought Pacquiao, not everybody knew what Pacquiao was yet. They, you know, it wasn't as clear as it was about to become. And it was a big coming out fight in many ways for Pacquiao. And he fights De La Hoya. And I remember everyone, De La Hoya be too big for him. De La Hoya be too, and I get him right once in a while. Well, I know you guys love to jump on me when I get him wrong. And come on, jump. I have no problem. But every once in a while, when I get him right, I'm going to jump back. And I'm just saying that in that fight, I got it right. And why, when I made the preview of the Pacquiao De La Hoya fight, why did I pick Pacquiao? I said, everyone's talking about De La Hoya is going to be too big, too strong, too this, too that. I think Pacquiao is going to be too fast. He's going to be too fleet-footed. He's going to be too tricky. He's going to be all those things. And sure enough, he was like a buzzsaw, in and out, side, boom, boom, putting punches together, speed, power, you know, legs, mobility, everything. So at the end of the day, before you go and drink the Kool-Aid and go crazy with Canelo, he's too big, he's a good night for Crawford, he's going to bed, all that stuff, not so fast. Don't forget that the other guy is bringing something to the party too. And he's bringing the things that hopefully I just described to you guys in the best way I can. When it gets closer, we'll get more thorough with it. But right now, I think you know where I'm leaning, and I'll make it even clearer where I'm leaving. So there isn't a lot of suspense. I ain't going against Crawford, okay? I do think he's that special guy. I think Canelo's special too, but I think Crawford's special in a little bit, even more so. He hasn't learned how to lose yet. I think he does have those special ingredients that go beyond the physical genetics, the physical DNA. So that's it, okay? Good. You don't like it? Too bad.
That's a tough one. I mean, I think Terrence got tremendous skill set. But I don't know, because he's jumping 3 weight classes. You know, I mean, at 154, he didn't look as good as Terrence Crawford that we know. But, you know, anybody can have a bad night. But the thing is that, I mean, it's kind of like, I would say, it's kind of like when you fight Tank. When you fight Tank, you can beat Tank up almost every round, but at some point, he might find you. And I mean, with Canelo being at 68 and been at 68 as long as he's been, I mean, I think that Crawford's going to probably give him a great fight as well. But I lean slightly toward Canelo, and that's just because of the size, not because of the skills. I mean, I just lean toward Crawford because I just think dude has so many skills. I just see that him possibly winning the fight by decision, but could also lose a close decision.
If you have to bet,
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
Experience.
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
I'm not a big fan of that fight matchmaking because they're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. I told him yesterday when I met him up last night there at the dinner, I was like, dude, you're a badass. Like, you've been a badass. You don't always get the recognition because of, you know, politics and boxing and the favoritism here and there. But he truly does have the skills, and he's a great fighter. He's proven it multiple times, obviously. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, you know, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Beter Biv or Bivol again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving up, you know. And same thing with Crawford. He doesn't need to move up to fight Canelo. He could just fight other guys out at 154.
I'm going with Terrence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terrence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terrence Crawford against nobody. You got to show me that you can beat him.
No, I don't think that Crawford could beat Canelo. Crawford's a little guy. You know, he's at 154, 147, 154.
Last fight,
Canelo's at
154.
168, man. Come on, bro. You know, my respects to Crawford. Hell of a fighter at his weight. It's like me trying to go to heavyweight, trying to fight Usyk right now. Come on, bro. Really?
Well, some of the fans are saying Crawford technically has longer arms. They're the same height.
Brother, brother, really? Really? To me, that's a joke.
Do you think he could beat Canelo?
Anything's possible. Crawford's a smart motherfucker.
Or would you favor him?
Huh?
Would you favor him to beat Canelo?
I would. He's smart. He's a smart fighter. You know, everyone that he's been fighting, he's been picking apart. You know, he reads you. The motherfucker like a computer. He reads you. You know. I said nothing but love to Crawford. You know, he's a bad motherfucker.
To be honest with you, if I fought Terrence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
It's an odd fight, you know. It's an odd fight. Canelo is the bigger man. You know, but listen, look at Terence Crawford, you know what I mean? Like, look what he did to Spence. Look at his career, look, you know, he's pound for pound #1, and your guess is as good as mine, you know what I mean? They're both two unbelievable talents. I don't know, you know, I don't know, but...
If you were to picture it in your mind, Cal...
I'm trying to picture it now, thinking.
What's the key for Crawford to try and...
You know, he's like a surgeon. You know, Terence Crawford's like a surgeon. When I boxed him, I felt his surgeon. We were both waiting early rounds, you know what I mean? Who's going to throw first? He's very on point, very all right. He's got it all, you know what I mean? But so has Canelo, you know. Canelo's proven time after time after time after time with some of the top fighters in the world. So, you know, I'm just trying to picture it now. You know, it's an hard one. So it's one what I'd definitely be interested in seeing for sure, but I'd probably have to lean towards Canelo.
Can Crawford come up to like 168 pounds and fight Canelo?
You know, who knows? But the setup of skills that Crawford had can cause a lot of trouble for Canelo.
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, like, but Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to a box fight. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this, that, another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
The weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. If Canelo comes out there what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
With Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
I don't remember sizes of Terence Crawford.
Welterweight.
If he big, actually.
Maybe he's probably my size, maybe like 170, I think.
I remember when I came to the boxing gym, one of the first lesson which I should learn, it's like you should respect weight classes. You know, yeah, what it means. But Terence Crawford now is one of the favorite fighters, active fighters, I mean. He has good skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something.
What advice would you give him to be able to beat Canelo, being that you beat Canelo?
Yeah, it's funny if I give him advices. He knows already what he needs to do, and his coach knows. They will find a solution how to do it, but. It will happen or not? It will be success or not?
I'm gonna be watch this fight if it's happening. I'm not really fan of boxing, but this fight I will watch.
And how do you see that one panning out? What would your prediction be? Who would win? Canelo and Crawford.
I don't know.
What are we eating tonight? You don't know? Very tough fight.
I don't know. Like I haven't a favorite from them, like, but I don't know, say who's gonna win, but I think we'll see. There is interesting fight, like 50-50.
You know what, I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. He's phenomenal. But Crawford is something special. I think that he's a better pure boxer. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. My concern is that he won't hurt Canelo. And if he doesn't hurt Canelo and can't hurt Canelo, then Canelo keeps coming. Similar to how he stalked Charlo, how he stalked, once he had Plant hurt, he chased after him. Canelo is a very powerful individual who can get exposed by a boxer because every shot he throws, he's trying to make it a power shot. But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away.
When you're looking at a super middleweight against a welterweight coming up to light middleweight, you're probably thinking in your head, well, that size difference would be ridiculous. But when you put Canelo and Crawford together, I mean, surely Crawford can bulk up a little bit, surely, and their sizes, there isn't that much difference in size.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I think when I think about size difference between fighters, it's not so much necessarily what their physical dimensions are. It's Canelo has spent years being hit by super middleweights. He's even fought fights in the light heavyweight division and scored a knockout against Kovalev. And even though he didn't beat Bivol, it's not like he got, physically beat up or anything. He got outboxed to a degree, but it was not a physically damaging kind of fight. So he's taken those shots. Crawford has never been in the ring, at least I can't speak for his sparring sessions, but in terms of a real fight against a guy that's, a legit super middleweight. I mean, Canelo, yes, he did start off his career in that smaller weight. He did fight early on as a welterweight. He won his first world title as a junior middleweight and middleweight, obviously light heavyweight, and now, he became undisputed in the super middleweight division. So he's gone up through the weight classes and taken the shots really well. I mean, I think one of the inarguable things about boxing today, and, we can argue about everything, is that Canelo has an all-time great chin. I mean, he's never been down. I've seen him physically rocked one time ever, and that was his first sort of big American fight on a pay-per-view undercard, where we all thought to ourselves, this is what all the hype is about. And he got rocked in the first round by Miguel Cotto's older brother, Jose Miguel Cotto. And he kind of was like, boy, if he gets hit like that, he's going to get, at some point he's getting knocked out. That was, 15, 16 years ago. He's never been remotely in trouble, and he's fought some guys who are tremendous punchers, Kovalev, and 3 fights against Gennady Golovkin, and even like a James Kirkland may not have been a great fighter, but was a great puncher. He's fought a lot of guys that can crack, and Terence Crawford has shown himself to be a good puncher in the smaller weight classes, but he's he didn't really show a bunch of power in terms of the Madrimov fight, and when he stopped welterweights, he stopped good guys. Obviously, he stopped Errol Spence and some others, but I think the jury would be out on how his power is going to translate if he were to go up 2 weight classes. That's not to say he'd have to weigh in at 168. He could obviously come in under the weight limit. I don't think Canelo is necessarily going to be in the mood to negotiate some kind of catch weight, but it would be he wouldn't be obligated to weigh 168. I look at it kind of like when Manny Pacquiao went from welterweight to fight Margarito for a title in the junior middleweight division. Yeah, the limit's 154. He did negotiate a catch weight in that fight, but that was because of Margarito, who had to weight a certain limit. But I think Pacquiao came into that fight like 144 pounds. Like, he was fighting for a junior middleweight title, and he was underneath the limit for the 47-pound title. So, look, it'll be very interesting if they can make the fight. Obviously, if they do, it'll be a huge event.
The fight is the product of Terence Crawford's towering and unquenchable ambition. If Terence Crawford weren't the person that he is, that fight wouldn't be taking place. But he is extremely passionate about constantly boosting his own image and demonstrating to everyone in the sport that he can do things that people never thought he could do. And that goes all the way back to his first big exposure, which was on an HBO pay-per-view here in Las Vegas, where he was put in as a kind of throw-in opponent against a South American prospect named Bradis Prescott, whom Top Rank expected to go on to do big things. Tim Bradley had sparred with Terence Crawford, and he told Top Rank, put him in against Prescott. I think he'll do better than you think he'll do. And he won the fight start to finish. He cleaned Prescott up, and that was the first step on the road to becoming what he is now, which is #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. So there's a certain logic to the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing wanting to match up with the #1 dollar-for-dollar attraction. Fighting Canelo Alvarez is probably the biggest money that Terence Crawford can ever make in his career. Fighting Terence Crawford looks to Canelo like easy money because there's a 21-pound weight gap starting out here between Crawford's 147 and Canelo's 168. But don't try to tell Terence Crawford there's something he can't do. He does not believe that.
It's a good fight. That's what I can tell you. It's a good fight. And what you want to know? Who I think?
No, just break it down. What do you think the pros and cons are?
This is what I'm going to tell you. This if Crawford box him and move, box and move, and when he's ready to throw the punches, tie him up and frustrate him, I think Crawford can beat him. I think Crawford can beat him. You know what I mean? I mean, they both great fighters, but with Crawford fight Canelo, just don't lay against the ropes, taking them shots, arm and all, and just frustrate him, man. You know what I mean? Move, get them legs right, and you want to move for the whole round, the whole 12 round. If you got to do it, do it. You know what I mean? That's the only way you're gonna win. You got the boxing and tie him up. Don't let him set. And I see Crawford can be victorious. You know what I mean? But if you don't do that, it's gonna be a different situation.
You know, a 50-50 fight. You know, and I guess it's a fight that everybody wants to see. So, I mean, it's a good fight.
How difficult is it to make that jump from? He only had one fight at 54, so like 147, 154 to 168 pounds.
You said how difficult is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little difficult because you got to, what are you going to have to put on, like an extra 14 pounds? So he might be a little slower. Or who knows, he could be faster. I don't know. Like, it's just, you got to add more weight and gain more muscle and stuff like that. Moving up in weight and things like that. So it's a little harder. But I don't know. You know, we'll see on fight night how he'll look.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to be successful in that fight?
Be smart. Take his time. Box and move. Yeah, don't sit there and let him try to bomb on him.
What about Canelo Alvarez?
I feel like Canelo gonna press him, had to press him. Everything behind the stick, you know, and catch him, trying to pull out, pull back, anything, you know, cutting the ring off, things like that.
Is it one of those situations where you try to punch on like the smaller man's like arms?
You're gonna have to bully him. You're gonna have to bully the smaller guy. You know, don't let him dictate nothing. You know, show him that's your weight class.
Terence is already taller than him, you know, has the reach, you know. I'm telling y'all, that's a 50-50 fight.
Okay.
That's a 50-50 fight. Yeah. It's actually perfect timing for both guys.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez is losing big name fighters to fight against. There's really no one else with a big name for him to fight against.
Yeah.
Benavidez deserves that fight, but his status isn't the level that Canelo, you know, I think it's perfect timing for both guys.
Canelo, don't run away from this. You already ran away from the Benavidez fight. All right, you don't care what people have to say about you anyway, about the fact that you didn't take the fight. I mean, you're walking around Mexico, walking around, you know, California, San Diego, wherever you live, wherever you reside. I don't know where you reside, to be honest with you. But you obviously don't care about what people say or what people think about you by not taking that fight. So why should you care about what people say about you for not taking the Crawford fight? Don't use that as an excuse. Make the fight, my man. Make the fight with Crawford. That's the fight that everybody wants to see you face, right? And it's going to give Crawford an opportunity to show you his greatness, show the entire world his greatness. Now, everyone keeps talking about the weight. That's all I'm saying. Oh, he going to knock him out. When the hell was the last time Canelo knocked somebody out? Big, little, small. He ain't knocked nobody out. When was that? Ryder, was it? Was it Ryder? Did he even knock Ryder out? No. He didn't even knock him out. He ain't knocked no Ryder. He ain't knocked no Berlanga out. When was the last time Canelo Alvarez knocked anybody out? So y'all saying, oh, he didn't knock no baby Charlo out. He ain't knock the little Charlo out. He didn't knock him out. So y'all can quit with that, talking about he gonna knock Crawford out. Come on, man. Stop it. Please stop it. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Ain't that's what the young folks say? Stop the cap. Yo, didn't we just see somebody just fight a guy that was quote unquote 50 pounds heavier? Yes. Didn't we just see that? Beat a bigger guy. Canelo is the same height as Crawford. Remember, Canelo started off at 147 pounds. He's not a natural 168 pounder. Y'all know that, right? Remember everybody saying, oh, he fought a 200-pound Berlanga. He's not even a natural 168 pounder. No, he's not. He's like a 160 pounder fighting at 168, right? Big and strong. Ugh. Well, Crawford's a 135 pounder. Yeah, naturally. But he's also strong. All right? But we just saw a fighter that was quote unquote 50 pounds lighter than the other man he faced. And he beat him. He beat him with what? He beat him with his skill. He beat him with his tactics, his ability, with heart, determination, right? Had a good chin on him, right? Good defense on him, right? That's how he beat him. I said Usyk is great. Absolutely. Usyk is great. I even said in the headline, in my headline, he's great. Fantastic. He's a great fighter. Absolutely. Well, you know who else is a great one? It's Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out. The great ones know how to win. He got all the skill in the world to compete with Canelo Alvarez. All y'all keep talking about is punching power. It's more than that. It's more than just punching power, because he got to find a way to land that power. So, anyways, don't go running away from the fight now, Canelo. Don't run away from this fight. It's great money for you. Remember what you said? Easy fight, easy fight, easy fight. That's what you said. Easy fight. Well, we gonna hold you to it now. Get in there with Terence Crawford. Guaranteed. Sold out. Guaranteed. Pay-per-view numbers gonna be unreal for the fight. Guaranteed. Terence Crawford gonna come out with the W. Now, it ain't gonna be by knockout. Canelo got a strong chin on him. It ain't gonna be by knockout, but Canelo will get outboxed. See, what y'all fail to realize is Canelo is not a aggressive, all out, aggressive Mexican fighter just coming forward like Chavez and stuff. He not that dude. Canelo's a boxer. He likes to think. He likes to take his time. He's calculated. He's very precise with his shots. Guess what that does? That slows down the pace. He just not finna come in there and bully Crawford. And Crawford with his IQ. What do you think Crawford's gonna be able to do with his IQ? You see what IQ does? It says, you have a guy that has a great IQ inside the ring. What does it do? It slow you down. Because what? You don't want to make a mistake, because you know, you can feel. All right? Y'all like, some of y'all guys like stats and numbers. Y'all think I'm just talking out of my ass? Madrimov, he threw under 300 punches. Why? He's the bigger, stronger, come forward fighter. Oh, he's strong. Slowed him down with his IQ, with his counter-punching ability. See, that's what it's about, right? For Crawford, it's his counter-punching ability. That's why I'm saying he gonna cook Canelo. He can counter Canelo. Canelo be swinging them big wide shots, hooks, looping right hands and stuff like that. Come on, man. He can punch in between those shots. He can time him before he gets to the place he wants to be. Crawford has a 74-inch reach, people. He can box on the outside. Guess what else he has? He has a fantastic jab. He can keep Canelo at bay with his jab. Jab, little lateral movement, side to side, little jab here, little jab there, bam. Keeping the hand out there, jabbing him, probing him with them shots, moving his head to the side, because we all know that Canelo comes forward. He's heavy on that front foot, coming behind that high guard, and one of the best guys that knows how to exploit a high guard in the sport, one of the best prolific counterpunchers in the sport, is Crawford. He just gonna beat him up. Bing, 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 counterpunch. All that wide stuff, all that stuff gonna get countered. Bing, 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 gonna get pieced up.
Can he win? Yes. Will he win is the big question, because the potential of speed, high quality defense, when Canelo fought Charlo, besides the knockdown, Charlo was able to protect himself very well against Canelo's onslaught. The only problem was, while protecting himself, there was no offense. And I believe, seeing what I saw, I believe Crawford saw the same thing. If Charlo can go so untouched by just being, once he got dropped, spider senses, boom, fully awakened, right? Boom. So now hands up, don't make no mistakes. So, that's how it is. We saw it in the Munguia fight, we saw it in the last fight. It's those little mistakes that end up having big consequences against Canelo, right? Floyd, Bivol, where's the mistakes? You gotta be, you gotta get that 10 out of 10. You don't make mistakes, It's like Tiger Woods. You don't miss putts, 20 feet out, don't matter. You know, you gotta be sharp up against Canelo.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. You know, Terrence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting.
Who you got, though?
I'm just a fan that night watching.
Jumping like that much, getting hit, I don't think Crawford's ever fought a fighter that's hit him directly, just straight, constantly in the arms. And it's not because they can't, they don't think that way.
Appreciate it, champ.
Gotta clear it out, guys.
Remember, this man's been pro since what, 14? Right? 15.
Yeah, 15.
Doesn't make a big difference.
No. I think skills pay the bills. Yeah. And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's, like, very small.
He cut weight to get to 147, 154.
Yes. Yeah. He's not as small as, like, people think. It's just he look like it. Yeah. So, like, if you see him
in person,
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day, he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terrence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terrence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo.
How difficult of a fight is that for Bud, and what does Bud have to do to win that fight?
He just gotta be smart. He gotta be smart, and I feel like he just gotta beat Canelo to the punches. You know what I'm saying? Use his ability, his skill, his wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And just be smart in there, man. God willing, of course, he gonna come out and get the victory, man. And both guys gonna go home. You know, no major injuries and stuff like that at the end of the day. But I know Bud is gonna go in there and get the victory for sure.
What about Canelo and Crawford? What do you think?
That's gonna be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
It's gonna be a crazy fight. You know, I really don't know who's gonna be the winner in that one. You know, Crawford's giving up a lot of weight advantage, but at the end of the day, I feel like Crawford always spars big guys in the gym and stuff. So I feel like the weight's not really gonna affect him. I feel like the speed advantage that Crawford will have over Canelo would definitely affect Canelo more than the weight on Crawford. And but I don't know. I mean, both them guys, they got a lot of experience, and it's gonna be a great fight. I don't know who to pick as a winner for real, but I got a lot of respect for both guys, and hope both of them come out safe. Give us a great show.
Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason.
It's all respect over here, and if he do decide to come our way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight. It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'll be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step in the ring with.